Good morning, everybody. Mark Finan here in the home weather office on this Monday morning. It's now, the 19th day of May, 2025. And this is the morning briefing. And looking out the window from the home weather office, beautiful morning, clear skies. And here at the home weather office, the trees aren't moving. However, we are still going to see some north breezes again during the day today. Not all that gusty, but still with the north wind at this time of year, the low humidity that goes with the north wind. We still have that red flag warning up that the National Weather Service put up over the weekend. And yesterday there were some grass fires, and it's just one of those times of year that, a little thing that you may not think of can start a grass fire, and you add enough wind and it, turns into something that burns 10, 15 acres or something like that. So just be careful around areas of dry grass. If you need to mow, if there's a field that you still need to get to, wait a couple of days. The winds will be much lighter. We'll see humidity recover with onshore breezes later on this week. And so there will be better days, better opportunities to burn some of that or mow some of that tall grass. Not burn it, it's too late for that. So mow some of that tall grass that you still might have out there. And again, this is on the valley floor. In the foothills, things are still relatively moist, and in the Sierra, of course, things are still pretty wet. But gradually, the fire season does move up the hill. But for a day like today, we're more concerned about the possibility of a grass fire down on the valley floor. Let's take a look at what's happening this morning. We have clear skies. We don't have much in the way of marine layer. That's the other thing we always look for now at this time of year. You wake up in the morning and is there marine layer? If there's no marine layer, even if you get an onshore breeze, if there's no marine layer, an onshore breeze still doesn't bring you anything in the way of cooling. So what you look for a cooler day or a cooling trend from now, let's say through September, is to have the clouds along the coast, the fog in San Francisco and in Monterey, and then you add in the onshore breeze, and then you get a cool down. Instead, we have clear skies. There are clouds well to the north, but the entire valley is clear. The Sierra is clear. This is just the snow cover that is rapidly diminishing in the Sierra. And there is a little bit of marine layer in Southern California. Of course, yesterday was a rather breezy day, and I'm going to show you two different versions of the wind. So this is the HRRR version of the wind, and this is a product that shows wind gusts. And I'm going to show you this, and I'm also going to show you CANSAC. And so what you're seeing today, this isn't sustained winds, these are wind gusts. And this is showing winds gusting 17, 18, but it's that north wind, that dry north wind. And that continues through the night tonight, I should say through the day today. This is around 9 o'clock tonight. But then during the day tomorrow, that wind is flat and then actually turns onshore during the day tomorrow. And we actually start getting delta breezes in the afternoon, like in here. This is Tuesday afternoon and evening. So you start seeing the onshore breeze, and that increases the humidity in the valley. So it is that's the change we're going to see. There'll be afternoon and evening breezes. So I think one of the things we're going to see this week is you're going to see warm afternoons with valley temperatures in the upper 80s and low 90s for the next, let's say, 3 days at least. And what you're then going to see is a nice evening breeze. So rather nice summer sort of pattern with warm afternoons, but a nice breeze at night. The other thing I'm going to show you here is the dew point. I hadn't thought of showing you this, but I'm going to. All right, so let's back up to today. And what you see here, this is the dew point. So I talked about the dry air, and the dew points are down in the 30s and low 40s. Or actually, over the weekend, the air was even drier than that. But you can see that during the night, we start seeing a return to some more moisture into the air. And that means that you start seeing higher dew points, and you start seeing a little bit of humidity recovery, if you will, especially in areas that are going to get the onshore breeze. And then you look out here in Nevada, very dry air, desert country, dew points down in the teens and 20s. So that was one version of the wind. CANSAC actually shows a bit more in the way of a wind today. This is first thing this morning. I'm going to go a couple of frames ahead to about 1 o'clock this afternoon. This shows a bit more in the way of vigorous wind through the San Joaquin Valley, and this is winds that would be gusting into the mid to upper 20s. So Stockton and Modesto, according to this model, could be seeing some gusts of 25, 28, that sort of thing. But that's, so you have two different models. The HRRR not as gusty as the CANSAC. And then we'll get into Tuesday evening, and you'll see the return of onshore breeze right here. You can see it going through Solano County, so the wind arrow is going this way. So that will help to decrease the wind, help to maybe relieve some allergies, and again, get that cooling breeze back. All right, let's take a look at what the pattern is going to look like as we go through the week. Like I said, it's going to be warm over the next couple of days, upper 80s to low 90s. But keep in mind, here we are on the 19th day of May. The average first 100 for downtown Sacramento is around June 4th. So we're in that range of the time of year where we got to start looking to see whether or not we can see a 100-degree day. It is that time of year, but we're not going to do it this week. Instead, as we get toward the weekend, a little passing trough will bring temperatures down, like you see here. Then you see another ridge for early next week. This should be, that's actually Saturday. And then another passing trough into next week keeps temperatures down. So while we are going to see some warmer days, upper 80s and low 90s, these little passing waves will help to keep temperatures from getting up to around 100. And is there going to be anything in the way of rain? Well, let's take a look at the GFS here. And you can see the north gradient that we have today. So here are the isobars, and the wind goes perpendicular to the isobars. So that's a north wind. But then as we get into the day tomorrow, the gradient actually turns onshore. And that's what we continue with here. So this is a warm day. This is Tuesday afternoon. So it's a warm day, afternoon temperatures, like I said, upper 80s, low 90s, but a nice breeze at night will knock temperatures down to the mid-50s by morning. So classic early summer, late summer sort of weather with warm afternoons but cool nights. And you can see the same thing here during the day Wednesday. We have the onshore gradient, so as long as you have the isobars this way, that means the flow comes inland, and that looks really nice. We'll see temperatures drop a little bit through the middle part of the week from a passing wave, and then into the weekend, more or less the same pattern. And then the GFS going out into Fantasyland brings in a chance of rain. I think this is next around Tuesday, Wednesday. I'll believe it when I see it. For those of you that work outdoors or your livelihoods depend on dry weather, this week obviously is dry. A chance of rain next week. It's getting kind of late in the year to bring in chances of rain, especially something that looks as small as what I just showed you. Not saying that we can't squeeze in another day of rain. Obviously, we've seen rain in late May. We've seen rain for Memorial Day. We've seen snow for Memorial Day weekend. We have seen rain and snow into the month of June. So I'm not saying that we're done completely with a rain day. It's just that the way that one looked on the GFS, I'm not convinced that we're going to see that. And besides, that's middle of next week. So we have plenty of time to figure out whether or not we're going to see any more rain. But for those of you that, again, your livelihoods depend on having some dry weather, the rest of this week, dry, warm, comfortable nights, and less wind than what we'll be seeing during the day today. That's everything I've got for you on this Monday morning. Make it a great day. I'll talk with you later.